The History of the United States. A Detailed Journey Through Time. America, before European exploration, before European explorers arrived, the land now known as the United States was inhabited by millions of indigenous peoples. These civilizations were diverse and included tribes such as the Cherokee, Iroquois, and Apache, which developed advanced agricultural systems and rich cultures based on oral traditions. The indigenous peoples lived in organized societies governed by their own laws and customs. Some, like the Aztecs and Maya in the south, developed written language and political structures, while northern tribes excelled in warfare and survival skills in various environments. A European exploration and colonization, 1492–1776. In 1492, Christopher Columbus arrived in the New World, opening the door for European exploration. Throughout the 16th century, Spanish, French, English, and Portuguese explorers sought to claim land in the Americas. By the late 16th century, the English established their first colonies in North America. The beginning of colonization. Jamestown, 1607, the first permanent English colony in America. Mayflower Voyage, 1620. Pilgrims landed in Massachusetts and founded Plymouth Colony. Wars with Native Americans. Expansion led to conflicts, such as King Philip's War, 1675–1678. Transatlantic slave trade. Africans were brought to the Americas to work in plantations. By the 18th century, the colonies had grown prosperous, but tensions with Britain increased over taxation and governance. The American Revolution, 1775 and 1783. By the mid-18th century, American colonists became increasingly frustrated with British policies, particularly taxes imposed without representation. Key events included Boston Tea Party, 1773, a protest against British taxation. Outbreak of Revolutionary War, 1775. First battles at Lexington and Concord. Declaration of Independence, 1776, written by Thomas Jefferson, officially declaring U.S. independence. Battle of Saratoga, 1777, a turning point that led to French support for the colonies. Battle of Yorktown, 1781, the final major victory of American forces. Treaty of Paris, 1783. Britain formally recognized U.S. independence. Following the war, the U.S. established its constitution and government. Expansion and nation building, 1783–1861. After independence, the U.S. pursued westward expansion. Louisiana Purchase, 1803. Doubled U.S. territory after acquiring land from France. War of 1812. A conflict with Britain that strengthened national identity. Industrial Revolution. The U.S. economy transformed through manufacturing and transportation advancements. Western settlement. Pioneers moved westward, leading to conflicts with Native American tribes. Tensions over slavery. Growing divisions between the North and South eventually led to the Civil War. The Civil War and Reconstruction, 1861–1877. Conflicts over slavery and state rights led to the American Civil War in 1861, Emancipation Proclamation, 1863, issued by President Abraham Lincoln declaring freedom for slaves in Confederate states. Battle of Gettysburg, 1863, a major turning point in the war. Southern Surrender, 1865, end of the war with Union victory. Reconstruction Era, 1865–1877. Efforts to reintegrate Southern states and rebuild the nation. Industrial growth in the 20th century, 1877–1945. By the late 19th century, the U.S. became a global industrial power. Mass immigration. Millions arrived from Europe and Asia. World War I, 1914–1918. U.S. entered in 1917 to support the Allies. Great Depression, 1929. Economic collapse led to widespread unemployment. World War II, 1939–1945. U.S. entered the war after the Pearl Harbor attack, 1941, and played a decisive role in the Allied victory. The Cold War and the Modern Era, 1945 to 2000, following Guobuipu, the U.S. emerged as a global superpower. The Cold War, a political and military rivalry with the Soviet Union. Civil rights movement, led by figures like Martin Luther King Jr. to achieve racial equality. Technological growth, Internet and digital revolution transformed the economy. The 21st century and contemporary challenges. In the modern era, the U.S. has faced new challenges. 9/11 attacks, 2001, shifted U.S. foreign policy and security measures. Wars in the Middle East, ongoing conflicts in Iraq and Afghanistan. Technological advancements, artificial intelligence and emerging innovations. The U.S. continues to shape global politics, economy, and technological advancements. This was a thorough and detailed overview of U.S. history. If you're interested in a specific era or event, I'd be happy to provide more details. What would you like to focus on next?